All right, I think 6:31, and I think we can start at least by saying our hellos and introducing our wonderful guest tonight. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Ombretta Andruff, and I am the founder and executive director of the ARTSail Residency and Research Initiative. It's a sounding name, but essentially what we do, we connect artists and culture producers with scientists, with climate activists, with marine biologists, with marine experts, and people that can really help them understand how climate change is impacting the waterways surrounding Miami. And we try to help them to create artwork that we can all use to leverage our position as ocean warriors and towards ocean conservation by being able to show in either art institutions or disseminate through institutional platforms or educational platforms like these Zoom meetings and webinars and university and schools that we have the opportunity to talk to. So tonight is actually the first of our ARTSail conversations, and I'm very excited. It's a new project, and the idea is that we're going to invite ocean warriors, climate warriors, and water warriors to talk to us. They're going to be very informal chats, about 30 to 45 minutes long. And the idea is that we are going to explore the 3 SDGs that ARTSail is tackling. So for those who are not familiar with SDGs, I mean by these Sustainable Development Goals, which is a blueprint that was devised in 2015 by members of the UN to achieve a more sustainable and more fair world for everybody on this planet, and just not for our current population, but also for future populations. Out of these 3 SDGs, there are 3 in particular that we work with, and that is the SDG 6, which is water and sanitation, the SDG 13, which is climate action, and SDG 14, which is life underwater. So tonight we're starting with life underwater with an amazing ocean warrior that I've had the pleasure to meet a few years ago when I joined a swim club shortly after I moved to Miami called the Dolphin and Rainbows. And I'm gonna let her introduce herself because she's gonna do a much better job than I would do. And Merle, it is such a pleasure and honor to have you to pioneer this new series of conversation with us. Thank you so much for being with me tonight.
Thank you, Ombretta, and thank you, ARTSail. I feel so excited to be here because I'm going to say that upfront quickly that today is 20th of July, but on 20th of August, I'm planning to do a next world record, what is to swim 20K with my mermaid fin. And everything that I do in my life is connected with water and ocean and swimming. And I've been a 2-time Florida winter champion in breaststroke events. I have been now in 2 different world championships by swimming 10K and 5K. I'm also 2-time silver medalist in ice swimming, so I really know what means cold climate. And as well, I have done a triathlon race and biathlon race where I got 6th place in the world last year, and currently holding 10K world record in mermaid fin swimming. And on top of that, I'm a swimming advocate, I'm an ocean advocate. I love to bring people closer to the ocean instead of seeing them walking away, and the same I do in swimming. I love to see more people joining with swimming, becoming a swimmers or triathletes or water safe, because there are, in my heart, I believe there is 2 connections. It's being safe in the water, and when you're safe in the water, you appreciate more ocean and water. And as well, besides being busy as a professional athlete and advocate, I run a couple of companies. One company is called Swimera, where we basically sell swimming products, but we also host international competitions and camps. And lately, now for a year, I am part of a pure organic certified cosmetic brand called Viking Beauty Secrets, where we actually focus on whatever we take from ocean, we give back to the ocean, but same time we keeping everybody beautiful.
Wow, that's fantastic. I actually was not aware of this latest undertaking. So congratulations. So you cover so much ground in this few minutes. So I just wanted to break it down a little bit. So you're from Estonia. You
Yes.
are now based in South Florida. And I know you have a very interesting story in terms of how and why you started swimming. So I was hoping you could share a little bit of that with our audience tonight.
So when I was growing up, I had lots of health problems, and mostly my health problems were involving lungs and digestion. And when I was little girl, my lungs were almost, one of my lungs was almost collapsing, and the family doctor kind of recommended to go swimming so I can learn to use my lungs and learn to strengthen them through swimming. And that's why my mom thought it's a good idea, because I didn't know how to swim, and I was actually 11. And I joined with the local swim club in Estonia, and actually the coach have seen me before with the mom, and the coach thought I'm talented. It's just we didn't know why I should, like, what is the reason why I should join the swimming, and my own health kind of pushed it towards that way, because I spent a lot of time in a hospital even as a kid. And when I started swimming, I pretty quickly fell in love. I felt like a little fast fish in the water, and I wanted to win medals. And I think in a year I made it to Estonian nationals, and I actually got the 3rd place. So I really quickly learned to swim, and I have been really passionate with swimming. But the reason why I ended up in Florida is also that I actually burned out a little bit from swimming, and my mom thought it's a good way to kind of relearn swimming and reconnect with swimming. And I had opportunity to study and swim here, and my mom basically gave me the flight ticket and suitcase, and she said, go and find your way.
Enjoy.
And here I am.
So so then how long ago did you relocate to Florida?
Soon it's gonna be 9 years. So I've been
wow.
9 years. It's straight from the high school. I came here, and I have to say, first 2 years I was happy I'm swimming outside. I mean, this is the best what your lungs can have, but I wasn't really, still not really happy with swimming, and it took me a time to relearn swimming. And the fun fact is that when I started doing triathlon, I actually started loving more swimming throughout.
Interesting.
Yeah, exploring different ways of swimming. And I think that's why I have so many angles in the water, because I realize swimming can be more than just swimming 2 laps per time.
Right. And so I was hoping you could talk a little bit about then your connection to the ocean and what really pushed you to become an ocean activist in terms of your efforts for ocean conservation. We've been doing some cleanups together. We have discussed obviously ways that we can help the ocean and help each other and our goal. But I know you've been doing a lot in terms of also reaching out to kids and going to schools and talk to them. So I was hoping you could talk a little bit about that part of your activity.
Yes, so actually when I start doing triathlons, I start realizing that I love open water. I think there is so much action going on when you train or swim. And I started going from being breaststroke swimmer towards to open water swimmer. And while you're an open water swimmer, you kind of see the differences, what's going on in everyday life. And sometimes during the practices, I start seeing trash floating around, and it made me really sad. And it really kind of hurt to my soul that this is happening around the nature and around the world, that the oceans are full of plastic, and especially microplastic, what is actually called mermaid tears. And
Right.
it really hurt me in a big time. But when I became an open water swimmer, I also started realizing that our waters are in a big danger because of temperature. 2010 Olympian Frank Crippen sadly died during the World Cup tour because the water was too hot when they were racing. And I realized, me as an open water swimmer, I fell in love with swimming again, but now there is another threat what, you know, kind of can push you away from swimming. And instead of looking at that and training for world championships, I decided I need to do something, and I need to become maybe the voice and show what's the reality. And the second thing what really spoke to me is also the ice swimming, because ice swimming is becoming so popular around the world, but now the ice swimmers are also on a threat because the waters are too warm, so it's not with the ice swimming measures. And as ice swimming wants to be the next Olympic event in the Winter Olympics, I realized there is, you know, I have to step up for the oceans because they're too warm, but I also have to step up for the smaller places where the water is too warm. And it really threw me there that I have to be the voice for swimming community to understand that we can, you know, we train 6 hours per day, but if we go to and fly into the competition and we can't compete because the water is too polluted or too dirty or too hot, then all this time of training, all this money or this effort, all this pain is kind of like wasted because we can't race now. And
Right.
it really is a big threat in a Ironman community. It's so many competitions they have to like redo the course because is it too warm or is it too polluted? And it's where I'm really passionate to bring awareness, because it's a threat to our sport and to our everyday work. But during this I would say 2017, I became really, really passionate with all the actions. And during this time, I have started learning so much how so much plastic keeps ending up in the ocean. And I want to share something what I just picked up last week. This
Please.
is after. Do you guys see that picture?
No, we don't. Can you share your? So let's see. You should be able, as a host, to share your screen.
Let me share. Share your screen.
Yeah, it's that little green. You
share
see
your
that.
screen. There we go. Do you guys see that?
Right. Yes. Yes.
So this is what I picked up last week, and it's pretty much every day after the practice I find something like that. And if you look closer, there is wine bottles, there is some kind of doll, sunglass, and if you guys see, I'm pointing here, that's a mask. And during this COVID time, my statistics is I pulled out 9 masks and 17 pairs of gloves. And
right, you showed that video. You shared with me a video this morning from
yes.
local news exactly about this issue, correct?
Yes, this is where I took my own.
So wait, is this here in Miami, Merle?
Yes, that's in Morningside.
Right. So Morningside, for those of you who may not be familiar, it's a neighborhood of Miami, and that's facing the bay. That's actually where a few times a week our swim group swims, and we've been doing a lot of cleanups. And usually after major storms, the amount of pollution is unbelievable, because we have storm drains that are coming from sort of the mainland beauty right into the bay, and that's where we find an insane amount of garbage, all kind of debris that just accumulates there. So I'm not surprised to see, Merle, what you found there.
Yeah, and sadly it's have become really popular after the weekends, because if you look those islands behind you, the boats go there and they leave every kind of stuff there, and of course it gets washed off to the ocean, and sadly it ends up in the animal's stomach most of the time.
So do you find in your community of professional athletes at your level, do you find other voices that are as proactive and as engaged as you are with issues of, you know, the climate crisis or pollution?
I have to say more the surfers are worried about that. If you guys know, there is a really popular organization called For Ocean who produces the bracelets, and it started from surfers, and they really do a good job, and they really keep building the awareness, and I'm really proud of them. I have done cleanups with them, and I'm really close friends with the owners of that organization. And I have to say that as a swimming group, I'm still a little bit sad that there is not many professional swimming groups who go out to do cleanups. Our Dolphins and Rainbows are, and as you, Ombretta, came 2018 to do the world cleanup, and I don't know if you know, that was a world record for a year that day.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah,
so on 2018, 80 million people from 157 countries pulled out 100,000 pounds from the ocean, and it's counted as the most participated World Cleanup Day. But 2019 there was 21 million, so we lost the world record, but we're gonna get it back.
We gotta do better next year for sure. We'll be working towards that, and hopefully this pandemic will allow us to get together and do these kind of gatherings again. So just for those who are not familiar with ice swimming, I wonder if you just can explain. I mean, I personally was blown away when I understood exactly what it was and how it's done. So I was hoping you could explain a little bit about that practice.
Yes, so ice swimming is basically you cut out the ice from the lake or from the sea, and you put their lane lines, and basically that's how the competition is hosted. The water temperature is about 0 degrees, or in Fahrenheit 32. From 37 they start actually counting that as ice swimming. And there they have these kind of rules that you have to go inside a ice cold water, and you have to have both shoulders under the water, and you are up like that with the head, and they give you the start, and you don't have like a starting block. Turns have to be made quickly, and you can't be underwater more than 5 meters. And they have the same kind of races what they have in a normal pool. Like they have 100 meter, 200 meter, 50 meter. They also had 25 and 450 meter freestyle. And when I went to World Championships, there was 47 countries and over 1,500 athletes. So it was pretty competitive, and really hard to be there and compete with the world best, because some of these people practice almost 3 times, 4 times per week in the cold water. So yeah.
And you're not wearing a suit or anything, right? You're just your skin essentially, and a bathing suit, and that's it.
Yeah, so there are rules that you have to wear a normal suit. You are not allowed to put anything on your skin to kind of like a warm up gel or anything, because you are not allowed to, pollute the water. And when you go to swim, your head has to, like your cap has to stay up above the water because safety is #1 issue. And even me, who have been training now so many years in Florida, I flew down to ice swimming world championships just 3 days before. And every single participant has to go to a medical check before to see if they are allowed to compete.
Wow, that's incredible. Oof. So when people complain in the winter time that the water is cold here in Florida, you look at them, you're like, yeah, right. Huh.
Yeah,
I'll show you what cold water feels like. That's awesome.
I have to say that to me, it's like, it's more mental. If I did it, and as you know, the showers don't get cold in Florida, then everybody can do it.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. So I know also that part of what you do in terms of your advocacy efforts, it's talking to kids going to school. So I was hoping you could talk a little bit more about that, and eventually if there are schools that are interested in inviting you, what happens, how should they do it, how can they reach out to you?
Yeah, so I have been really lucky that people have found me somewhere. Like just a couple of weeks ago, I was on a Miami Herald, and then some teachers reached out to me and asked me that during the school year, if they're gonna have online schools, that if I can come on a Zoom and talk about oceans and how to be more sustainable household. And I've been really lucky going around the world. I've been in Argentina and Brazil, actually visiting different schools. And one thing we have been talking about swimming in Estonia, but the other thing what they are always interested is how actually the plastic affects their future. And I'm really glad when I can talk with them about that and educate the kids that, whenever you see a trash and it's not even yours, still do your part and pick up and put it on a trash can and teach that to other people around you. And it's amazing how I'm really positive with the future, because I feel the kids really understand that. They really are aware that that trash shouldn't be in the nature, and sometimes they even telling the parents, hey, do you see that trash there, that let's go and pick up. So and of course all the kids, they love dolphins, so they will be really sad to know that the microplastic ends up in a dolphin's stomach. So I'm really positive on that sense.
That's great. We had a webinar last week, and one of the speakers was what I call our local Greta Thunberg, and she's a young activist. Her name is Eleni Reynolds, and she's been a fantastic ocean advocate since she was a teenager, like 15, 16 years old, and she does a lot of this outreach in schools. And what I love about when she talks about these events is that she says, I don't need to dumb it down for kids. Like, I talk about climate science, I talk about data, I talk about in very real terms what is happening now, what our future could look like, and kids get it, and they ask really smart questions. And I think if there is anything that gives me hope these days, and a fairly kind of dark outlook general for everything that we're going through, as you said, it's exactly that. It's knowing that there is a generation after us that is smart, is concerned, is powerful, is not shy, as these amazing kids have shown us, to speak up to the powers that be and just make sure that they are being heard and respected and taken into account.
Yeah, so I want to share, so the one thing everybody is asking me, what will be the future? Is there anything what the future can help us with? And in Estonia, actually, the president and many business people gave a 3D printer to schools. This material comes from plastic, recycled plastic. And I went to one school and I needed a mermaid fin. And
that's awesome.
And I got printed out.
Oh, that is fantastic. I love that.
So this is
That's
recycled
awesome.
plastic already, and thanks to the kids and their 3D printers, I have a little fin.
That is beautiful. Well, we should market that as a keychain.
Actually, I'm working on that because I really want that recycle movement there. I wish the government was giving me the 3D printer. Otherwise, I will printing every night, you know.
Right,
But
right.
that's something what I can work on for a future, and hopefully my little records can help for that. So
tell us a little bit about more this record that you're attempting. I know you're holding currently a record for the 10K, if I'm not mistaken.
yes.
Yes, tell us a little bit about what you're attempting to do, which I have no doubts you will accomplish, and maybe a little bit about your training regimen.
So as 2020 is crazy enough, and I supposed to go to Olympic trials to Tokyo on 29th of May, but Olympics are postponed as well, all the international competitions. And I kind of was bummed about it, and I was like, okay, but what I can do for this world? I mean, 2020, I still want to remember I did something. Well, mostly what I remember is I have been picking up masks from the streets and oceans, but then it kind of spoke to me that maybe it's my time to raise awareness that what's going on with the oceans is a real issue, and we really have to pay attention that ocean actually connects all of us and brings us, you know, peace and happiness and unity. And when ocean is in danger, then actually our economic is in danger, our health is in danger. So we really should take a look that this pandemic is speaking us something bigger. And as 20th of August is Estonian Independence Day from Russia, we got independence 91 on 20th of August. I kind of saw there is like the numbers are talking there, and I decided why not to do 20K on 2020 on 20th of August with my mermaid fin, what is kind of extreme because I'm not using my arms, I'm only kicking.
That is incredible. And you're going to do this in open water, am I understanding that correctly?
Yes, so I'm gonna do that in my home oceans in Miami. And training for that, I can't say it has been easy because there are days when the ocean is really hot. And actually last weekend, I got injury, and that's kind of really sad story that little microplastic piece got inside my fin and kind of rubbed while kicking, and having that little plastic next to my fin and foot kind of made a hole on my toe.
Oh.
It rubbed the skin off, and when I took the fin off and I saw that microplastic, it really made me sad and pissed off. And I was like, how in the world this is happening with me? And now for a week and a half, I have been fixing my feet and swimming with socks and having feet taped, and it's like a little obstacle, but I think that's why the universe is telling me I have to do what I have to do.
So how can people find out more about this undertaking? Can you share your social media handle, or how eventually they can get in touch with you?
Yes, you can always look social media, Agua Merle, and the ARTSail has been promoting my Instagram as well. I'm gonna soon release all the schedule and the race course where I'm gonna swim my 20K. It's gonna be in Biscayne Bay, so not really far from Miami people. And everybody can come and cheer, and I need kind of cheer. And actually talking about that, I also found last weekend MP3 player from the ocean. And I'm gonna wear that on my record at 10. It's working.
That's perfect. Well, I'm so
Yeah.
happy because I told you that I thought I was going to be traveling, and instead I'm actually here in Miami. We're now going to Europe. And so I'll be there cheering or supporting in whichever way we can. We're just so excited to be able to be part of this achievement. So that's
Yeah.
amazing.
And that day, actually, I'm calling up everybody to find a little, is it laundry bag or is it snorkeling bag, and take that with you and walk around the beach and the sidewalks. And when you see a trash, put the trash inside. So that day you can also take part of the bigger movement, what is kind of like a cleaning up same time when Mermaid is making a record.
That's awesome, and we'll make sure to do our share of promoting and make sure people are aware of this and they can help with the cleanup and with the cheering and everything we can do to support you in this very important mission. So I'm just going to go to the chat. I'm seeing a few comments. Let's see. Oh, George is saying monofin Olympic event someday. So how's that? Is that going to happen? What's the latest on that? I know they're having some talks, right?
Yeah, so when I was swimming the 10K, I was swimming that in a Los Angeles Olympic test event. And there were a couple of people from IOC, International Olympic Committee, and they kind of looked the popularity what was around my fin swimming, and they were like, maybe we should start adding like a small event somewhere because now, because I swam the 10K and I did also Mother Earth Day swim what was 6K without using my arms. Now the mermaid swimming on lexicon is written as mermaid swimming is monofin swimming without using an arms, and the pioneer is me. But I think it's possibilities, so I keep pushing my boundaries.
That's fantastic. And let's see, I'm seeing some other great comments. Honor to you, Merle, for your passion to inspire others to change behaviors and leave the playa better than they find it. Share the news of her swim so we can all support this amazing ocean warrior mermaid. And that is exactly what you are. And I can't tell you how grateful I am that we met each other. We swim together. Obviously, you do twice around the island while I can just do once. But I am grateful for your advice about my swimming technique. And it really is a wonderful pleasure to have you with us tonight. Any last thought or takeaway? And if people are interested in getting involved with ocean cleanups, get involved with the ocean, any suggestions about where they can look for or what they can do?
I mean, you can do ocean cleanup by yourself. You don't need to wait. Sometimes it's people keep waiting and then it's never happening. So if you take like the laundry bag and you start picking up trash on ocean, that's already helpful. For example, when you have Amazon packages and you have all these plastic bags, take that to a recyclable place. Look it up. I know Publix in South Florida does that. And it's possible that if you really want, you can do something. I mean, I was cleaning up my own street another day and 2 people run off from their kitchen and start cleaning up with me. So you never know who you might inspire to be part of a bigger movement. And just I think we all doing something and doing a little bit is already helpful. So don't feel pressure that you have to be now some kind of person, but as long as you thinking and helping and being interested, and I think more companies are understanding that's the way where we have to walk towards. So I think let's keep pushing each other, supporting each other, and that's how we help the planet.
That is for sure. Well, you certainly are an amazing source of inspiration for all of us at DNR and all of us at ARTSail. And I can't thank you enough. Let me see if there is anything else in terms of chat that we're looking at. Lots of thank yous for participating. And I guess we'll see you on the water.
Yes, so everybody keep swimming, never give up. Life is full of obstacles, but always keep swimming upstream.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Merle. I was so grateful to have you with us. And you
Thank
are
you.
a champion. Good luck on the 20th of August. We'll be there cheering for you.
Thank you.
All right. Take care. And thank you, everybody, for staying with us tonight. This meeting has been recorded, so we'll be able to share and upload on our YouTube channel and share it with all of you. And stay tuned for our next chats. I will be posting some calendar very soon. Thank you, Merle. Have a great rest of your night. Take care.
Thank you.